So it is now my second time recording this fucking video, right? And I'm just so mad, man. Like, I recorded a 19-minute video on my personal dating experience, and, I'm just, I really poured my heart and soul into that video. So, you know what? I'm just gonna sit here for another 19 minutes and just make another fucking video. Okay, I don't know how long it's going to be. I don't know how much it's going to be, right? But the first thing I want to talk about is that I really do feel for the viewer who's watching this. You know, I really do empathize with what you're going through in dating, right? I think a lot of women, you know, would definitely brutalize you if you started cold approaching, right? And I think, you know, the main thing I want to take away is that the main thing you should take away is that looks are everything when it comes to dating, right? Your SMV, how attractive are you? Your face, height, and body, right? Face being the important, second being height, and then your body being the third, right? And so I would definitely say that the best thing you could be doing as, if you're younger than me watching this, I'm 18, I was born on September 22nd, 2007, right? If you're younger than me watching this, like, and you're not like conventionally attractive as a guy at least, right? I would say just don't date. Don't even date. There's no point. There's no point in you dating ever, right? What I will say is just enjoy your life. Have a social circle, have friends, right? And just have fun with them, right? Enjoy your life, okay? You only got one chance. You only got one chance to be a kid too. I was a kid just a year ago. I guess I'm still a teenager, but you know, just understand that you only got one life and you shouldn't be like spending it on dating, especially if it's not going to work out for you and it's not going to work out for you. Okay, so let's begin with my cold approaches. I cold approached a lot of women. Okay, a lot of women. Okay, I was, technically at one point I was known as the guy who wouldn't even think twice about when approaching a woman, right? I would be, you know so low inhibition. If you don't know what low inhibition is, basically like, the feeling you'd get when you're drunk. It's kind of like that, right? You're kind of like, you have no thoughts in your head, basically, right? I was so low inhibition when I approached a girl, right? And it was just so easy, right? And even if I was low inhibition, I still didn't get the numbers. Okay, very few numbers did I ever actually get. Very few girls did I ever even wanted to go out with me, right? And even then, I still screwed it up somehow. And most of it's because of my looks. Game really doesn't really matter unless you want to gesture max. Go ahead, just diminish your fucking value if you want to do that, right? But don't stay on my fucking channel because this channel is not for you. Okay, if you want to be in a girl's DMs, go ahead. Okay, but I'm telling you, this fucking 20 guys who are competing for the same type of pussy that you want. Okay, um, you know, I'd be cold approaching girls, and girls would be giving me brutal rejections. Brutal rejections as like, you approach her, you don't say anything weird because you're not a weird type of guy, right? You're not weird because you approached her, right? But to still give you brutal rejections is because they have the audacity. Is like, the audacity of you even fucking coming up to me, you fucking clown, is what's actually going in their head. They're calling you a clown. They think you're a fucking clown, right? You're approaching this girl who's maybe a 5 out of 10, and she thinks you're a fucking clown. Approaching her, right? She gives you the most brutal rejections, and then you think to yourself, "Oh, well, maybe it's because of my fucking." No, it's not because of your game, your muscles, or your money, or your status. It's because how you fucking look like. Okay, understand that looks are extremely important, right? Extreme, maybe like No, I'll say, oh, fuck it, bro. 100%, 100%, nothing less, nothing less. Okay, I'm telling you right now. Okay, girls would also be giving me the type of rejections where I would be, last this actually happened last year, right? I This is my first girl I cold approached, right? Complete bitch, by the way. Honestly, what the fuck, right? Like I cold approached her, and then she has the that like the nerve to just like I don't even think I should be talking about this right now, right? But because it's just so unrelated. That's why you know this is a complete nerve to fucking tell the whole school about me and shit like that, and just make up like random shit, and it's like completely fucking awful, right? Girls do this when you're unattractive, by the way. Okay, she was never attracted to me. This girl would be staring at me, right? And I thought she was attracted to me because I was a fucking narcissist. By the way, fuck you if you're a narcissist, right? Because honestly, narcissism doesn't work in your favor, right? Unless you have proof of it working in your favor when a girl likes you, right? But in this case, I feel like the girl was just surprised by me so much, right? She was surprised by me, right? And that's why she was always looking at me, right? And that really fucking hurts because it hurts your ego too, the narcissism, you know, is fucking getting destroyed when she doesn't actually like you. She just likes the attention you gave her, right? So that's that, right? So cold approaching definitely didn't work in my favor, even if the girl's young, by the way. Motherfuckers say just be first. Okay, look, like you guys need to understand that just being first is not enough. It's just a fucking theory at the end of the day, right? It has no real proof. It's just, oh, a woman's body count is lower when she's, younger, so then you should be first and then you can keep her, right? It doesn't work, okay? So even if the girl's young, cold approaching does not work. And this is what I'm telling a lot of guys. If you're not conventionally attractive, there's no point in going through the same fucking humiliation ritual that I went through. Okay, there's no point. Okay, don't do it. You know, people just laugh at you. People will start making fun of you. It's not a good thing. It's not a good thing when people make fun of you and all this shit, right? So then I started using dating apps, right? I used in total about 9 dating apps when I was in Canada and about 5 in India. I'll tell you both my experiences. In Canada, it's a little bit fucked up because the dating market's so cooked, right? Dating in 2026 is cooked, guys. The humiliation ritual. Fuck, shut up, bro. Shut the fuck up. All right. So dating in Canada is cooked though. Those Doomer guys, they're not fucking wrong. This other dude they called the Way of Cam, fucking Doomer. Oh my god, right? But I'm gonna tell you one thing: they're not completely wrong, and they have a reason for saying why dating is so cooked, right? It really is. Especially on dating apps, right? Tinder, Bumble, Hinge, Haley, Plenty of Fish. Badoo, using all of those types of dating apps, I still didn't get shit. I had really good photos, by the way. I had good photos. I had a six pack abs. I even showed that. I had a good social life that I also showed, right? But you know, it still isn't enough, you know. And it really just shows that how important looks are to these women, and that if you're not, you know, extremely attractive, I would say, to these girls, they won't give you the light of day. They won't even give you the fucking attention. They won't give you shit. Okay? If you're fucking unattractive, you're unattractive. And that's just something you have to, you know, admit to yourself so then you don't fucking become the second, Ishar 2.0, right? So most of these dating apps are pretty skewed in my favor, right? I did get a facial analysis done, which I know you guys are gonna fucking call it gay for some reason, right? I did get it done, and it came out to I believe it was a 6.22 out of 10 with a 7.46 out of 10 harmony, which is extremely good if you don't know, right? Now it's not the best, but before looks maxing, that's still high. That's extreme. That's very high. I was still bloated. I had no hair, and I still got a 6.22 out of 10. Right, and I wasn't lean, by the way. Right, so getting an HTN is very impressive for me. Right, but still, it doesn't work as much as you think it would on these dating apps ever. It never does. And if you're a young guy trying to use dating apps, if you're my same age, by the way, using dating apps, please be the same age as me if you're going to use dating apps. I'm 18, right? Please be 18 if you're using dating apps, right? But if you're 18, I want you to understand and really just say something to yourself. And if you're not conventionally attractive, don't. It's just another fucking. It's like it's like a burden. It's like rocks on your shoulder, but the rocks aren't there, right? You get what I mean? Especially especially when you're not attractive. It's gonna eat you alive. You're gonna be thinking about it always. You're gonna be randomly checking your phone at 3 a.m. thinking you're gonna get any likes, and then to your surprise, you get one fucking like from a girl you don't even like, you know, or you don't even get them at all, and then your ego gets even lower, right? Which is very plausible, right? Very plausible, right? So that was dating apps for me, right? Especially in India too. You'd expect some I get something in India, but I got jack shit. Not a single girl ever even found me attractive in India, right? And that's what hurts so much about it. I um there was girls who weren't even like in my opinion attractive to me who would still left swipe me, right? Who weren't attractive at all. Let's just be honest, okay? They still left swipe me, just cancel me out, right? And just shows you that Canada and India aren't too different, and geomaxing, right, where the dating market's easier in some places, only works for a couple of races. And, India as genomaxing, by the way, only works for white guys, right? I'll tell you that. It only works for white guys. If you're a brown guy, you're going to fit right the fuck in. You're going to fit right the fuck in, right? People are not going to notice you, you're not going to be noticed, you know, you won't even get any attention from women, right? Oh, but you won't get any attention from women if you don't talk to them. Shut up, bro. Oh my god. If you don't gesture max, then you won't get any attention. How about you fucking say that? Okay, if you don't fucking stay in a girl's DMs, you won't get any attention. Of course you won't. If you're unattractive, that's your own fucking option. If you're 5'7", of course you're gonna have to fucking gesture max. Of course you're gonna have to fucking be in a girl's DMs 4 fucking months trying to get a fucking date out of her when she's like sucking the cock of another guy. That's what you have to do, right? That's like that's what you're trying to say, right? No. How about we don't do that? How about we just get attractive, right? So I was dating apps for you. Sorry about that little rant, but actually not sorry. How about fuck you, right? How about that? Especially the guys who, tell me all this like bullshit of, you know, trying to be something different when you don't. You like trying to do the same thing that you've already tried for, maybe the 1,000th time. They'll probably fucking work. Maybe the 100th time. Stacy's coming after you, man. Stacy's coming after you. The 100th time, man. Fucking hell, man. No, it won't happen, and it won't happen like that. Okay. Okay. Then I use social media, right? And I actually took these assholes' advice, right? Oh, be in a talking stage, bro. Be like this, like fucking manlet telling me fucking be in a talking stage, do this and that, right? Jesus fucking Christ, right? I'll tell you what, staying in Instagram, going on Facebook, Snapchat, and really using the thing called game. Get by the way, game is not even fucking real. Okay, if you're attractive, okay, anything is game. You know, we see this in like movies all the time. Even movies fucking portray this. That's how you know it's fucking bad, right? Even movie portrays this when a hot guy says something and then an ugly guy says the same thing, right? But the girls always laugh with the hot guy, right? Fucking brutal shit, right? Okay, I'm going off on tangent, but what I mean to say is that, you know, I even used game. Okay. I used game on these girls. I went into their profiles, looked like, saw how they looked like, right? And really tried, really tried shooting my shot. And, maybe sometimes I would have said something a little bit weird, a little bit too fucking horny, right? I remember one girl I said something way too horny, and, rightfully so, that she stopped talking to me, right? But, all of the other girls, I was extremely, I was extremely direct, not extremely direct, shouldn't say that, but I was running game, right? I know what I was doing, right? I was saying things. I was really texting girls. I was in the talking stage for 2 days with the girl. It doesn't seem like a lot of you simps, right? Like you simps stay in a fucking talking stage for 4 fucking months. I don't know how you guys fucking do that shit. Honestly, that's impressive. You guys deserve a medal, right? I stayed in a talking stage for with a girl for 2 days, right? And it was fucking hell. It was literally hell, right? I will never, ever do some shit like that again, right? I used Facebook. I messaged over 60 girls. Not a single fucking reply. Not a single fucking reply. And hear me out, right? Because a lot of people say, "Oh, you're not using the game well." Well, I was, right? This was considerably better than cold approaching, right? Cold approaching, I would just like start up little small talk, then have mid game, and just finish, right? Um, but this was a bit more better. My game on the on these social media apps, right? A lot better, right? But still, I didn't get shit. I didn't get shit from these girls. I didn't get a text back. No, no, thank you. No, no, nothing. Okay, absolutely fucking nothing. Okay, so you guys need to understand that in the dating market today, to date, to even have a chance, you need to be extremely attractive. And what does that mean? What do you mean by extremely attractive? Well, I mean a guy who is 7 out of 10. You know, you could probably search up a 7 out of 10 guy, and that's probably how you'd have to look like. But if you're not a 7 out of 10, you're not gonna have a fucking chance. I really believe in sub seven theory. You know, I'm under a 7 out of 10. Like I just told you guys, I'm 6.22 out of 10. Right? I know these numbers sound hella autistic, and I wish we never had them. Okay, but in today's world, we have to quantify our fucking attractiveness because we don't know where the fuck we're going. Okay, we don't know where the fuck we're going. Okay, so it is, we have to do these things, right? Because if we don't, then we don't even know what our attractiveness level is, and then we can't. We're gonna be like, oh, why is girls rejecting us and this and that, right? Actually be able to quantifiably, measure your fucking attractiveness, right? That's what we need to be doing. Um, so yeah, don't cold approach. Okay, don't use dating apps, and don't use social media to DM girls, right? Especially don't fucking gesture max. I think a lot of you guys are too good for gesture maxing. I think you guys, whoever watches my videos, hopefully, you're better than this, right? You're fucking better than this, okay? And you shouldn't want to ever stay in a girl's DMs. You know, I think you guys are better, okay? So if you're not conventionally attractive, don't date. It's over. Okay, just say it to yourself. It's over. Now, if you can say that to yourself and really just accept it and be like, okay, it's over. What else can I do with my fucking life now? What else can I do with my life? If no girls ever likes me, what can I do with my life? And answer that question carefully. Okay, and just say, what can I do? And pick something you can do with your life, and just enjoy it, right? Enjoy it, right? Also, get attractive too, right? Especially, right? Let these girls come to you. This is what we need now. Okay, let these women come to you. Let them flock to you, right? Let them, let them get their phones out for you. Let them come strike a conversation with you. Why do you have to always strike a conversation with them? it makes no sense to me, right? So let them come to you, let them strike conversations with you, let them flirt with you, okay? Don't cold approach, okay? Please don't put yourself in that humiliation ritual that we are in, okay? So don't use dating apps. Don't use any of these. Don't DM fucking women like I just said before, right? Just if you're not conventionally attractive, just give up, please. Just fucking give up. And what I want you to do is, you know, spend time with your family. Okay, spend time with your family, spend time with your friends, enjoy life, okay? And become more attractive, okay? And let them come to you. But give up on trying to seduce women and to attract them. Right? Just become, well, I guess you have to, okay, I guess you have to become attractive, right? So you're attracting women technically. But you know what I mean. Don't go after women, okay? Don't go after women, right? Women will come into your life and present them to you, right? You should never, we're not trying to become horny spazzes, right? And trying to just fucking do anything it takes to get one woman and staying in conversations with her for fucking months. We're not trying to fucking do that. And I know you're not trying to do that. Why the fuck would you waste your time on a girl who doesn't even like you, who's getting smashed by another dude? Why the fuck would you do that? Well, but that's my complete dating experience. Those are the lessons I give you, and I will see you in the next video. All right, see ya.